if you are a service provider, meaning you have clients, people pay you to do a service for them, then you might be wanting to dive into the world of passive income, maybe through a course or maybe some kind of digital download. Well, if that is the case, you might have heard of the beta launch. This basically means just launching it at a low cost or even no cost to maybe some people you know or some people that are kind of in your audience a little bit, just to get feedback on it or kind of home in on the idea and, really kind of crystallize it. There are a lot of problems with the beta launch method, and I'm going to go into what is wrong with it, why you should not do it, but also what you should do instead. I am Kathy Olson of Funnel Gorgeous, and let's dive into the launches that you should do instead of a beta launch. I totally get it that it is scary going from a client-based kind of service provider to, really diving into this world of infopreneurship, which is kind of going from one-to-one clients to one-to-many to customers. So I totally see why the beta launch method seems like the first step sort of on this ladder to get there, but it can actually shoot you in the foot in a lot of different ways. First, to kind of explain why people think this is a good idea, it's because they want to sort of test out the water, see if their idea is a good one and get some feedback. But the biggest problem is that when you do beta tests, they are not your ideal buyers. So either they didn't pay anything at all, so they don't value it because it's totally free, or they didn't really pay very much for it. So again, it's not as valuable as it would be if they were paying full price for it. So it's not really a great idea. You're not going to get great feedback. You're not even actually working with the people who you are going to eventually be working with. Anything you hear back is not going to be accurate, right? So that's the biggest reason why this method fails. On the other hand, I see why people do it is because they don't want to waste all this time and energy creating a course that nobody wants. So in a lot of ways, its whole purpose is to make sure that people want it. But again, if you're sending it out to people who it's free or low cost, you really don't know if they wanted it anyways because they didn't put their money where their mouth was. So enough telling you not what to do, I'm going to tell you what you should do instead. The basic idea is there, right? We want to get some ideas on, is this offer a good idea? Will people buy it? But we're going to test it out in a different way that doesn't sacrifice the actual results, and we are going to get great feedback, and that is in testing out the offer instead and really refining what your offer is to make sure that people want it first. And a big way that we do that inside of Funnel Gorgeous is we do like pre-sell. So we actually sell something before we actually create the thing. But the really, really important part on doing that is to create a great offer so that we can foolproof it as much as possible. Because we don't kind of just throw a bunch of things out and say, hey, who wants to buy this, 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 and this, because that can hurt your reputation and that can hurt your messaging. So you always want to test out that offer and make sure it's a good one first. I'm not going to go too deeply into offer in this video because we've done it in a bunch of other videos. Here's some other videos where we talked about offers. We also have a free 5-day challenge called Offer to Impact. If you have no idea what you would offer, check out offertoimpact.com. It's going to get you started. So once you're sure that the offer is going to land and it's an irresistible offer, then is when we start to pre-sell. There are 3 different ways you can pre-sale, basically coming from a service-based business who are working with clients over to this like digital marketing, one-to-many infopreneur type style. So the 3 funnels that you can use to pre-sell are, number 1, a pressure launch. This is sort of like the regular sales page that you've seen, but the idea is it's an open and closed cart. You build up pressure before you open the cart. So this is, through social media, through your organic reach, maybe even through paid ads, all those kinds of things. Then it leads you to the launch. You open up the cart, you have the cart open 1 or 2 weeks, close the cart, and then it's closed until the next time you open it. That is the classic pressure launch. The second way that you can do it is through some sort of a packaged or productized service. So if you are a service-based company that's working with clients and that side of your business is doing great, you can package up that service to be like really short start and stop. And so that way it's not like really your big service. It's not like your one-on-one kind of high-end relationship. It's just like hiring you for a specific thing. So this could be a business intensive or a VIP day, which we've talked about in other videos. Make sure you guys check those out. But the idea is that you have a productized service. So it still is a service, but it's just a small piece. It's a product that you're creating. And this sales funnel would be specifically for selling a business intensive or selling a VIP day. And last but not least, the third one is the book a call one. So if you are just totally not ready to do either one of those two, either, the pressure launch that launches or the productized service like the VIP day, but you really do want to use a sales funnel to start to bring people in and kind of start to get an idea of what you could be working on with them, is the traditional application to a call or just to a webinar to just book a call. But basically the idea is you're bringing them in through a sales funnel in order to take the next step with you, and you're sort of filtering them so it's not just all of your efforts going onto your website or all of your efforts going on into calls. So those are the 3 funnels that you can use instead of the beta launch in order to pre-sell your idea, to make sure that it is a fantastic idea. You're bringing in the right people for the right type of things, for the things that you want to help the world with. So if this sounds like you, if you are a service provider that is kind of moving into this idea of creating other things that can kind of free up your time, make sure that you go to launchgorgeous.com and get on the wait list for when we open up Launch Gorgeous. We're going to be working on all 3 of these funnels together. And if you want to see a little bit behind the scenes of into the process of what it looks like to launch, you can grab our free launch checklist at launchgorgeous.com/checklist. And that will show you the checklist that we're going to basically be going through in order to make this funnel and this program real and bring it to life. If you have any questions about launching or any of these 3 funnels, go ahead and shoot us a question in the comments below and we will answer you. And as always, thank you so much. I hope this was helpful and we'll see you on the next one.